Hey Chaos Crew! Welcome back to Paper Highlighter, where we unpack every messy DM, baby daddy bombshell, and glow up the 90-day universe throws at us. First up, Jasmine Pineda is done with the internet questioning who Matilda's real father is. After months of Matt hinting Dane might be the dad because of blonde hair and mysterious New York trips, Jasmine finally snaps, goes off, and declares once and for all that Matilda is Matt's baby. Fans are zooming into that little girl's face saying she's his carbon copy, but Jasmine trolling about a solo New York trip and then backtracking has everyone side-eyeing again. We're rolling the receipts. Meanwhile, Jibri Bell is soft launching no more. After a social media detox and that messy split from Miona, he just debuted his new girlfriend, Serbian actress and entrepreneur Diana, on a super fancy date night. He's calling her his blessing, his partner in crime, and fans are asking, is this real love or another era that ends in a rebrand? Next, Thais Ramon is getting brutally honest about postpartum. From swollen face and lost identity to dancing, traveling, and feeling herself again, she's reminding moms that you can love your baby and still need to take care of you. We'll get into her powerful message and the emotional comments from other new moms. Then we've got Andrei versus Loren. He's in the comments calling her fake, accusing her of playing the victim, and even dragging her for popping Tylenol while apologizing on and off camera. Some fans agree. Others say Andrei needs to look in the mirror. We're breaking down both sides. We're also checking in on Greta and Matthew, where Greta's heartbreaking confession, "I don't think I love you anymore," has fans torn between admiring her honesty and mourning the relationship. And finally, a little sunshine. Liz Woods just dropped a huge health update, entering remission, treating herself to a fresh blonde makeover, and leaning into full self-love era after chemo and heartbreak. We'll talk about what this might mean for her future on the show and in love. Before we dive in, smash like, hit subscribe, ring that notification bell, and drop a comment with which storyline shocked you the most today. All right, first up, Jasmine's baby daddy bombshell. Do you ever scroll your feed, see Jasmine yelling, "It's Matt's baby," and think, okay girl, but we need details? So let's unpack the baby daddy mystery that has been haunting 90 Day Fiancé fans for months, because Jasmine Pineda just broke her silence, and the way she did it has jaws on the floor. Matt Brannis first cracked this whole thing open when he admitted on camera that he wasn't 100% sure he was Matilda's biological father. He remembered Jasmine making multiple trips to New York right around the time she got pregnant. And oh look, that's exactly where her ex, Dane, just happens to live. Matt points out the coincidences: the New York trips, Dane in the same city, plus the blonde hair factor. He basically told cameras that maybe Matilda got her features from Dane, not him. That alone would set any relationship on fire. But Jasmine did not take that accusation quietly. According to her, Matt is way out of line. She slammed him for even entertaining that thought, and then did what Jasmine always does when she's pushed too far. She snapped. She went public and very firmly declared that Matilda is Matt's baby. No maybe, no I understand his concerns, just a full-on, it's Matt's baby, period. And here's where it gets wild. For once, the internet is actually on Jasmine's side. Viewers flooded Facebook and comment sections saying Matilda is a carbon copy of Matt. One fan wrote, "Def Matt's baby." Another, "It's Matt's baby. She is his carbon copy." Someone else chimed in with, "Definitely Matt's DNA." Viewers are basically saying you don't even need a paternity test because Matilda's face is the receipt. Eyes, matte. Nose, matte. Hair, matte. From their perspective, this was never a real mystery. The kid looks exactly like him. But even as Jasmine is loudly defending herself, the way this all blew up shows how deep the cracks are. Matt didn't just throw out a random conspiracy. He clearly felt insecure and suspicious enough to say this on camera to the whole world. That is a big sign of broken trust. And Jasmine's rage response? Totally on brand, but also kind of heartbreaking. She's not just clapping back at a hater, she's clapping back at the father of her child, who publicly questioned her loyalty and their family. So now we've got this strange dynamic. Jasmine insisting the matter is closed, fans mostly siding with her, and Matt looking like the guy who let his paranoia run wild. But once the paternity question has been said out loud on TV, can you really ever put that genie back in the bottle? Do you think Matt was just being honest about his fears, or did he cross a line by questioning Jasmine's fidelity and Matilda's paternity so publicly? And if you were Jasmine, would you forgive him for that? Stick around, because just when you think Jasmine is done with the drama, she starts joking about a solo trip to New York and sends the fandom into another meltdown. Okay, so right after Jasmine screams, "It's Matt's baby," she turns around and jokes about a solo trip to New York. Ma'am, are you trying to calm the fandom down or speed run a meltdown? So here's why everyone is losing it again. We just had this giant paternity panic around Matilda, with Matt hinting she might not be his because of Jasmine's mysterious New York visits and the whole Dane situation. Then, instead of laying low, Jasmine pops up on Instagram like, "This mama needs a break, maybe a trip to New York by myself." Instantly, viewers went, oh, so Matt wasn't crazy. The timing, the city, the word solo, it was like she pressed the big red drama button on purpose. Comment sections started lighting up with theories that she was still secretly seeing Dane, or at least enjoying poking the bear after Matt's accusations. But then, plot twist, Jasmine yanks the wheel back. In a follow-up story, she tells everyone to calm down, babes. The New York trip is a joke. She says she doesn't go anywhere without Matilda and makes it crystal clear she's not flying alone. According to her, this trip is actually a family thing. She explains that her baby daddy, Matt, is coming along, and the whole reason they're heading to New York is to take Christmas photos with Matilda. So now we've gone from secret solo escape energy to matching outfits in front of the Christmas tree vibes. And because Jasmine cannot resist stirring the pot just a little, she leans straight into the paternity discourse. She posts photos of Matt and Matilda together, basically saying, "Look at them. How is this even a question?" Fans flood the comments saying she's his twin, his copy-paste, his mini-me. But she doesn't stop there. She also shares a photo of Dane so fans can compare all three faces: dad, ex, and baby. It's basically a public paternity side by side, letting the internet play CSI Baby Edition. You can almost hear her saying, "You wanted to speculate? Fine. Here's every face in HD. Decide for yourselves." And honestly, it worked. The majority of commenters doubled down on Matt being the father. They say Matilda looks nothing like Dane and everything like Matt. At the same time, though, the way she handled it screams chaotic neutral. First, she refuses to answer directly on the tell-all. Then she trolls about going to New York alone. Then she laughs it off as a joke and announces a wholesome family Christmas trip. It's giving, "I'm innocent, but I also know exactly how to keep my name in your mouth." So what do you think? Is Jasmine just clapping back at haters in her own messy, memey way? Or does she secretly love keeping the storyline alive for attention and leverage? Would that solo New York trip joke fly in your relationship? And just when you think we're done with relationship chaos, another 90 Day alum pops up showing off his brand new love. Because next, we're heading straight into Jibri Bell's post-Miona glow-up era and the ultra-glam girlfriend he says changed everything. Jibri has been pretty quiet since confirming that he and Miona were officially done. He admitted there was a lack of readiness for serious commitment, while she accused him of scamming her and being lazy. Fans watched them go from "we're chasing our dreams together" to "we can't even exist in the same storyline" in a record time. Then, during his single era, his name floated around with multiple women, especially during his time in Serbia. But those were mostly whispers and short-lived flings, nothing that felt serious. Cut to now, and suddenly, Jibri is on Instagram not just with some random date, but with someone who looks like she stepped off a red carpet. Enter Diana Gudic. According to her profile, she's an actress, entrepreneur, and producer, and very likely Serbian because they speak the same language. In his recent Instagram story, Jibri posts a clip of the two of them at a gorgeous, open-air restaurant with a live orchestral performance happening above them. It's not just dinner, it's a full aesthetic. He tags her and gushes in the caption, calling their relationship a journey worth it, and talking about how blessed he feels to wake up next to her and take another breath with her. This is not casual. This is "I found my muse, my ride or die, let me monologue about it" energy. Jibri credits Diana for being his support system, his partner in crime who stayed by his side and helped him through. Fans who watched his roller coaster with Miona are already comparing the vibes. With Miona, everything was high glam, high conflict, and highly public. With Diana, Jibri's trying to project something more grounded, romantic, and soulful, even though he's still doing it in the most extra way possible. The date clip shows Diana smiling into the camera, setting down her glass, while Jibri pans out to reveal a breathtaking night view. It's giving, "this is my life, a music video, and this is my co-star." Of course, the fandom is split. Some people are genuinely happy he seems stable and in love. Others are side-eyeing the timing, wondering if this is a rebrand, a flex aimed at Miona, or just Jibri being Jibri. Drama, aesthetics, and poetic captions turned up to 100. Do you buy this as Jibri finally finding his forever after Miona? Or does this feel like another short-lived chapter in the Jibri cinematic universe? And how long do you think before we see Diana on a TLC spin-off or YouTube channel? Don't touch that dial, because the love stories today aren't all roses and rooftop violins. Up next, we're shifting gears to Thais Ramon, who's getting brutally honest about postpartum struggles, body changes, and finding herself again after baby Alice. When a 90-day star says sometimes we lose ourselves, but one day we find our way back, you know we're not just talking contour and cute clothes. Thais Ramon is getting raw and real about what postpartum actually looks like behind the filtered selfies. And honestly, this might be one of her most relatable moments yet. For anyone who's ever looked in the mirror after having a baby and thought, "Who even am I right now?" this one hits. In a new video, Thais takes fans through a full visual journey from sleep-deprived new mom to a woman who slowly, deliberately finds her way back to herself. We see early clips of her after giving birth to baby Alice 3 years ago now, where her face is a little swollen, her body is different, and you can tell she's still in that foggy survival mode stage. There's a shot of Thais in a tight pink bodycon dress, studying herself in the mirror. Not posing, not influencer mode, but just taking it all in. Then she's in mom mode, holding little Alice while preparing food, doing the daily grind. It's raw, it's unfiltered, and it feels miles away from the glam version of reality TV we usually get. Then the tone slowly shifts. The later clips in the video show Thais post-weight loss, out with friends, eating, laughing, traveling, exploring new places. Her energy is completely different. She looks lighter, not just physically, but emotionally. The outfits are fun, the confidence is back, and the camera loves her again. In the caption, she lays it all out. Sometimes we lose ourselves, but one day we find our way back, stronger, happier, and more confident. She makes it clear that she adored her postpartum period with Alice. She loved motherhood, loved being with her daughter, but she also had to be honest about something a lot of moms feel and rarely say. You can't pour from an empty cup. Thais reminds her followers that she needed to take care of Thais too, because we need to be mentally good to take care of those we love. She shares the video with Billie Eilish's Wildflower, which gives the whole thing this dreamy, bittersweet vibe, like watching someone regrow after a storm. And the comments? Full of moms who saw themselves in that timeline. One wrote, "Needed this. 8 months postpartum with my first baby, and I'm struggling with my appearance. And I've been working out and trying to diet, but I don't feel like it's working." Thais' post isn't just a flex. It's a reminder that the journey back to yourself is slow, uneven, and absolutely valid. Do you think we're finally seeing 90-day cast members use their platforms for real talk around postpartum and mental health, not just sponsored snapbacks? And if you've been through it, what part of Thais' journey hits you the hardest? Keep it locked, because not everybody in this cast is serving healing and self-love. Some are serving shade and accusations. Up next, Andrei is calling Loren fake, dragging her apologies and stirring up a whole new level of tell-all drama. Things between Loren, Andrei, and Libby were already tense after that explosive housewarming party and the move to Moldova drama. Loren warned Libby about following Andrei to Moldova. Andrei didn't like it, and the tension carried all the way into the latest happily ever after tell-all. On stage, Loren backed her husband Alexei. Libby backed Andrei, and it was a full-on loyalty war. Now, cut to the Instagram aftermath. After all 4 tell-all segments aired, Andrei posted a reel and started replying to comments, and that's where things got extra spicy. One fan slid into his comments absolutely dragging Loren. They called her fake, slammed her friend Noga as a troublemaker, and said Loren's apologies to Andrei and Libby felt uncanny and insincere. They pointed out how she talks trash about everything, even her own husband, and then turns on the tears and plays the victim when called out. Instead of taking the high road or ignoring it, Andrei basically stamped it with his approval. He replied agreeing that Loren is absolutely fake. Andrei claimed Loren apologized multiple times, both on camera and off, for what she'd said about him and Elizabeth, but according to him, she doesn't even remember what she said half the time. And this is where he crossed a line for a lot of people. He implied that Loren's Tylenol abuse might be to blame, suggesting she takes so much medication she can't keep track of her own words. That comment set off a whole second wave of drama. Some followers cheered him on, saying someone finally said what they've been thinking about Loren's dramatics and crying victim persona. Others were disgusted, accusing Andrei of weaponizing a mom's pain, postpartum struggles, and medical choices just to score points in a feud. And remember, this is all layered on top of his earlier accusation at the tell-all that Alexei was stalking other women while Loren was postpartum, something she immediately shut down as nonsense. Andrei seems determined to paint a picture of Loren as unstable, over-medicated, and manipulative, while critics say he's the one obsessed with policing other people's relationships, including Jovi and Yara's. Some fans in the comments have started asking the real question. Is Andrei defending his marriage, or is he just addicted to being the loudest guy in every storyline? And how long can Libby write for him publicly before this constant combat starts to backfire on her image? Are you team Loren is fake and plays victim, or team Andrei went way too far dragging her mental state and meds? And would you forgive a friend who apologized but then liked and boosted comments calling you fake? And just when you think the emotional damage can't get any heavier, we've got a breakup scene that feels like a knife to the gut in slow motion. Up next, we're heading into Greta and Matthew's sit-down. The moment she admits she doesn't think she loves him anymore, and the fandom collectively gasps. When someone looks at the love of their life and says, "I don't think I love you anymore," that's not just a breakup, that's a full emotional collapse on camera. Greta and Matthew's latest sit-down has 90-day viewers spiraling because this isn't your usual screaming match or cheating scandal. It's the slow, painful moment when two people realize love might not be enough to keep them together. In the new preview, we see Greta and Matthew sitting together, and you can feel the tension before a single word comes out. Greta's face says everything. She's already been crying. She's already replayed this conversation in her head 100 times. Matthew, on the other hand, looks like a man who already knows he's about to get his heart ripped out and is just bracing. Greta starts by saying something that low-key breaks you before the big sentence even lands. She tells Matthew he is the greatest person she's ever met. Not just a good guy, the greatest. She says she feels like she's not being fair to him, which is already a giant red flag that what's coming next is going to hurt. She tells him she's grateful, so grateful that she met him. And you can see Matthew trying to keep it together like he already knows exactly where this is heading, but he's still hoping the words will somehow be different this time. Then she goes deeper. She says he deserves the world and to be truly happy. He deserves to be with someone who loves him to the most of the heart can handle, someone who reciprocates his affection, who understands what an incredible partner he is. And then she drops the hammer. The honest truth is, she doesn't think she loves him anymore. The camera lingers on Matthew, and that silence is brutal. He doesn't flip out, he doesn't storm off, he just looks at her, and you can see the shock and devastation hit his face in real time. It's like the air leaves the room. Fans immediately flooded social media with reactions. Some praised Greta for breaking things off in the most mature way possible. No cheating, no dragging, just raw honesty and not wasting his time. Others are gutted, especially viewers who have been rooting for them from the beginning and believed they could push through their differences. For a lot of people, this scene hits hard because it's not about villains and heroes. It's about timing, compatibility, and the scary reality that you can care deeply about someone and still not be in love anymore. Greta choosing to say it out loud instead of faking it for the cameras, that's what has people calling this one of the most honest breakup moments in franchise history. Are you team Greta did the right thing by letting him go? Or do you feel like she gave up too soon on a man who clearly adored her? And could you look someone in the eye and say what she said? Or would you stay and try anyway? Stick around, because after all this heartbreak, we finally get a little light and a huge sigh of relief. Next, we're heading straight into Liz Wood's remission update, her fresh blonde makeover, and how she's rebuilding her life and love after cancer. Liz has been through it: ovarian cancer, chemo, disappearing from social media, and 2 brutal breakups. But now she's finally sharing a rare good update, and fans are honestly emotional about it. In her latest video, Liz pops up on Instagram looking almost unrecognizable in the best way. Long, blended blonde hair, cozy pink hoodie, huge smile. The caption explains everything. This isn't just a random hair appointment, it's a celebration. She calls it some much-needed self-care and self-love as she enters remission during the holidays. For anyone who hasn't been following every detail, Liz initially went MIA when she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. Fans started worrying when she began mentioning chemo and posting less. Eventually, she opened up about her journey on 90 Day Diaries, talking about feeling exhausted, sick, and drained from the heavy medication, but still trying to capture every little moment with her daughter. Now, this new clip feels like the other side of that tunnel. She thanks her stylist for helping her feel like herself again, and you can see it in her eyes, the relief, the joy, the fragile but real sense of hope. The comments are full of people saying she looks healthy, happy, and like Liz again. Of course, because it's Liz, there's also a little bit of mystery. She's reportedly dating someone new and has even exchanged rings with him. But she's keeping that part of her life super low-key. No constant couple posts, no soft launch carousel spam, just hints that she might actually be building something solid and private after all the public chaos with Ed. Fans are hoping this remission update means two things. One, that she stays cancer-free and gets to fully enjoy this new chapter with her daughter. And two, that maybe we'll see her back on screen in a way that centers her story for once, not just the drama of whoever she's dating.